Now, here's a question for everyone. Is Bleach light speed or faster than the speed of light? Short answer, yes, and I'll explain everything in this video. And is pretty much used as a response for anyone who's trying to downplay light speed in Bleach. Also, check out my fucking dog. Now, characters have been performing light timing feats for a long time, ever since the beginning of the series. Two examples of this would be Ichigo reacting to a Zero, and even before that, Ichigo reacting to Yuryu's Quincy arrows, which has been stated numerous times by guides to be light speed, or at least beams of light or arrows of light. Now, some people try and debunk these arguments by saying, oh, just because the Quincy arrows have been stated to be, say, beams or arrows of light, that doesn't necessarily mean they're light speed, which is kind of a retarded argument to make, since something that is made out of light would obviously move at light speed unless proved otherwise. And some arguments people might make against, say, the Zero feat is saying that the guides only refer to the Zeros as spiritual light, therefore it doesn't mean it's light speed. Now, the problem I have with this quote-unquote debunk is that Zeros are literally just the soul of light, therefore it moves at the speed of light. That's why it's called spiritual light. What I mean is that by that is, if you look more deep into the Bleach story, i.e. the Fullbring arc, we see that Ginjo basically was explaining the concept of Fullbringers and Fullbring abilities to Ichigo for the first time. In that explanation, we see him just taking the soul out of the whiskey he was drinking as an example before drinking the soul of the whiskey. And then he later states that everything has a soul, including inanimate objects and most likely things like light. Which makes sense considering things like Reishi. So when the guides state that Zeros are just spiritual light, they literally just mean that Zeros are just souls of light used for attacks. Which makes sense considering the fact that if you look at the original Japanese for multiple guide statements, it uses the kanji for light multiple times. Or just outright says, like, ray of light, or something similar to that. Because, as I said, Zeros are just the souls of light used as an attack. And with things like Reiryoku, the movement of a Zero might range depending on the user. So a Menos might have just a regular light speed like Zero, while someone like, say, Stark might have a Zero moving massively faster than the speed of light. Moving on from this into the Soul Society arc, we have more of these sorts of light timing feats that you could use. We're also shown characters like Mayuri in the Soul Society arc reacting to Yuryu's Quincy arrows, and there's also other light timing feats, such as Yuryu himself literally blitzing his own shadow, which you could definitely argue is a feat that is at least light speed, if not faster than speed of light, going off of personal calcs. We're also shown characters literally dodging the beams caused from the Negashion at the end of the Soul Society arc, which you could definitely add for more consistency, but the only problems I've seen with this is that people try to use one guidebook statement saying that, oh, light timing feats, especially at this point in the story, is not consistent, and, you know, the one guidebook statement they might use is referring to the Byakuya in Ichigo fight, where it says that the two characters were fighting like lightning, or at similar speeds to that. But the problem with this argument is that it's super disingenuous, and the guidebook statement, if you actually look at the wording of it, is obviously just a simile. It's just a phrase, essentially. That statement shouldn't be taken hyper literally. Moving on from this into the, say, Arrancar and Fake Katakata Town arcs, we just get more and more validity with light timing feats within Bleach, i.e., say, Arinero, literally the weakest and slowest of the Espada, pretty much just dodging sunlight in his fight with Rukia. People try and use like the anime version of this feat in just for like a debunk, quote unquote, but that like whole version of the scene has an animation error. The reason why I say it has an animation error is because if you actually look at the scene, the light touches Arinero, but we all know what happens later on in both the anime and manga when the light touches Arinero. So it's weird that he has the light touching him, moves out the way, and still isn't affected by the light caused from the broken wall. Because considering how light affects him in that way, why would he wouldn't be affected by the light that touched him if it was an accurate depiction of the feat? If you think about it for more than like 5 seconds, you would realize that it doesn't make sense, and because of that, it's an animation error. Because of that, you have to go off the manga version of the feat, which is more consistent to characters reacting to light in Bleach, since we literally see him still being in the dark when he sees a light and then moves out the way before the light reaches Rukia. So it's just more consistency, especially at this point in the story. And in the same arc, we literally see Grimmjow with a Grand Race Zero just distorting space to do its raw speed and everything, which would require like it going at the very least light speed, but likely a lot faster considering Grimmjow's scaling. And we also see like Ichigo reacting to the same Grand Race Zero. We also see characters like Shunsui reacting to Stark's Zero at very close ranges. Another quote-unquote debunk for characters being at the very least light speed around this time is using Gin's like 500 times faster than that statement in like his fight with Ichigo. But people ignore a lot of things when they're using this debunk. They're ignoring how Ryotsu and Reiryoku work within Bleach. You see, if you aren't aware, Ryotsu and Reiryoku, like the more you have of it, the more it amplifies your stats, not only your physical stats, but also your senses. After all, it's just a part of the power system in Bleach. And due to the fact that like it amplifies everything, including your senses, so how fast you perceive things like sound, a Shimigami or a Quincy or whatever clapping their hands and saying that something's 500 times faster than that would obviously perceive things like sound faster than the regular human. But the only way to actually accurately gauge how fast Gin meant when he said that he was 500 times faster than that is using his speed as like a reference. And to add even more to this, Gin is a snake. He's a liar, and he lied about like what his Bankai can do in terms of its capabilities. So even then, this statement just isn't reliable. There's also the fact that Gin consistently like alters the name and like the summoning of his Zanpakuto whenever he uses it in the series. I'm obviously showing some examples on screen, but if you know anything about names and everything in Bleach, you would realize that, you know, depending on if you use the real name or the real summoning or a fake name or summoning, that would fluctuate on the capabilities of the Zanpakuto itself. And there are multiple examples of this within the series, not just using Gin as an example. During the Ichigo Miyagi fight, we literally see like a flashback where Old Man Zangetsu mentions that like depending on if Ichigo uses the real name of an attack or not, that would like result in the attack having a different level of power. So all of what I'm saying right now about Gin leads up to say that the Gin debunk, quote unquote, for light speed or faster. Bleach is not a good debunk. After this, we see some more like light timing feats in the Lost Agent arc and the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. One example is Ichigo, like a full ring Bankai Ichigo, casually reacting to a Bankai Ginjo's Zero. We also see characters such as the Stern Ritters literally just dodging and reacting to light. We also see Shunsui reacting to Lily Barrow's like big bird form Lily Barrow and his like beams of light. And we also see Shunsui and Nano later on in that same fight reacting to big bird Lily Barrow's lights again, and just traveling like a big distance to move out the way. And we know that Lily Barrow, especially in this form, utilizes light to like use as attacks. So obviously this scales to like at the bare minimum light speed. But as I said about Riryoku earlier on, this would likely scale a lot higher. We also see characters like Renji reacting to Mask's beam, and we know that like Mask's beam travels and operates like light due to just traveling in a straight line. It's vaporizing things upon impact and reflecting off of reflective surfaces such as the blade of Renji's unpopped toe. And in case anyone says, oh, but Candace uses lightning and characters like struggle with lightning and like their fights with Candace, blah blah blah. But the problem with this is that it's stated literally within novels that Candace's lightnings like surpasses that of normal lightning, and we all know how Quincy abilities work, which utilizes the Ryotsu around them to effectively utilize their abilities, as I said. So like Candace's lightning can literally just operate like lightning, but still move at like massively faster than light speeds. So in conclusion, Bleach characters are casually like light timers, and due to that, we can definitely utilize like light speed when it comes to speed calcs and stuff like that. And once we do that, you'd realize, oh shit, these characters are really damn fast, since there's calcs getting these characters massively faster than light plus ever since the end of the Soul Society arc, which is relatively consistent throughout the series if you consider that. I've done a lot of calcs for Bleach characters and their speed in the past, and they are really damn fast. But yeah, that's what I have to say, and that's what I think. If you guys disagree, comment down below why you disagree, and that's about it. So long.